All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Bungo Stray Dogs, Season 1, Episode 8. All right, so last episode and the episode prior to that, Dopo, we went on a little bit of an arc with him.
Mm-hmm.
We found out that the whole thing with the bomber, the Azure Messenger and all that, that is not actually Dopo.
Right.
That was more of a thematic connection.
Luke Skywalker in the cave kind of a thing.
Yeah. Very, very similar in that there's an idea that his ideals could take him down the wrong path, which we very much were like on the nose, on the trail of.
Right.
But
it's just that it's not that they actually had taken him down a dark path in the past. It's just that this is an alternate reality, alternate timeline you know.
Yeah, it's something that you can look at and learn from if you took your ideals to the extremes without looking around at the consequences and stuff.
Right.
And yet, it was important that we draw that connection because Dopo is responsible in a lot of ways for the events that took place over the course of that arc.
It's the
because of
cost
his
path.
involvement.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So he as a character is going to need to hold that measure of his ideals in balance with reality, with pragmatism.
Yep. And that's the wonderful contradiction.
Yeah. Otherwise, he's going to be drowning a lot of the people around him in his ideals.
Sure.
Now, in the comedic side of things, that's
Someone
fine.
nearby might not mind that.
Yes, exactly.
Even literally.
Right, exactly. Thank you for picking up the pen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because he's been jumping into the water so many times. I'm like, when are you going to, come up with something new, Dazai?
No.
Are you just going to walk up to Akutagawa and be like, step on me, daddy? You know?
But
And then he's going to be like, I wanted you to step on me. It's like,
But anywho, we'll have to see what we get into with this next episode because that was the first multi-episode sort of arc. You know, it was a two-parter that we got before.
For sure.
But now we're into something else.
So y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, then come back here for the discussion. All right, we got ourselves a new character. I'm very excited to kind of have her be kind of a focus point of care for Atsushi.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that's really exciting about having a character that's needing the main character as kind of like maybe a source of like strength, encouragement, and stuff like that, is then they feel like they have a little bit more of an active role in being the hero, if you will.
Yeah.
But just because that's the case doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to have some kind of a, one's above the other kind of relationship. They could end up helping each other quite a lot as well.
They can help upending each other. They have the connection point of both being orphans. And then also it's kind of like a 12th step thing, almost where he is then helping someone else get out of a bad situation, right? And now he won't be like the newbie and things like that. I'm really excited to see how that goes because it's a way for Atsushi to grow, right?
Yeah, because it's a very similar situation that she has that he has been in.
And
the idea that people around her and him have suffered because of their abilities.
Right, abilities that they can't control.
Yep.
But in the case of her ability, and this is something that I love so much about it, because other people control her ability for her, that is something where, of course, that opens the door for all kinds of bad things to happen because people use it for ill, right?
Yep.
But if it's something where it's a person you trust and it's a person who is truly interested in understanding you and what you want,
Right.
then it's no problem.
Yep.
Right? Like I am so excited for the time where they're in a bad situation or something like that and she wants to help, she wants to do something, and then, the person says, cut loose.
Yeah. Exactly. Do whatever you want.
Or even better, tells her ability, do whatever you want, or tells the ability, do what she says. Right?
Yeah, there's some really cool stuff they can get into with that. Also, I love the ability in that it's kind of like a Tsukuyomi, but like a stand kind of thing as well. So it feels very just like like really cool.
And if it is something where it actually took out Dazai by force, not by threatening people around him or things like that, then that's a big deal because we have not seen an ability that could actually beat Dazai as of yet. So, okay.
Yeah, and we had a little bit of theory crafting of, was it actually her ability that caused her to basically catch Dazai? Was it that she was used as a hostage against her own ability?
And they
Or
might
was
have
it the fact that she had the bomb potentially on her at the time as well? Who knows?
Yeah, and I can't remember if we actually heard the thing that the person said to her on the phone. Like if it was specific or not. We can go back and check.
Because I believe we did. I believe all we...
Yeah, oh, doll, she moved, blah, blah, blah.
And then the phone opened right here.
Right. Okay, no, so we didn't
No.
actually hear what was said. Okay.
Yeah, so it's very much a
Yeah.
cold open.
Yep. And I love that.
No context.
Yes, as far as cold opens, also I gotta say that one was quite enjoyable. Like, because one of the things that I've found with this show is that sometimes I'm having my enjoyment of the show of the episode goes up at the end of the episode when we get the reveal of what is the thing that we didn't originally understand. So I really appreciate that there was basically something put at the very beginning to be like, hey, here's a quick and easy way to say, get ready to be entertained, right?
It was a YouTube video.
yeah, kind of, right? And I love that they did that. The fact that now Dazai is actually captured, that's a wonderful mystery. That's a wonderful like bit of continuing plot conflict, because then what does that change? What does that mean? Is the Armed Detective Agency suddenly a lot more vulnerable now?
Oh, a lot more now. In a lot of ways, this is like a really cool way of having your overpowered character basically just get pulled out of the situation, so you can let other characters have their time to flourish. And oh my god, the doctor, she was next level on a point that I of all the abilities basically that we had been, given kind of a hint of, thou shalt not die was our favorite name of all the abilities.
Like that thou shalt not die and all men are created equal. Like,
that one is definitely the immediate second.
But
thou shalt not die.
It's like, okay, and I love that. So okay, when she was introduced, I wasn't as immediately interested in her character, because it's like
not her character, but more in the shticks.
The shtick, right? Exactly. We hadn't seen much of anything from her character. It was more of the shtick of what does she do as a doctor? And it's like, okay, obviously they're also going for sort of like the sexy nurse. What's she gonna do? But then there's the creepy angle, and then it's like, wait a minute. And I don't know why I never made this connection, but I always figured, because of how things were shot, that it was more of like, oh, she does sexy things to you and it heals you. But then, if that's the case, why do people act like they're actually scared of her?
Right.
Surely one person would be like, I don't mind, right?
There's a character in another story that you're going to laugh that I bring this up, but there's a character in Red versus Blue that is almost the best example of the murderous doctor kind of thing. And her voice actress has this very wonderful thing with her. And this aspect of her shtick, I love that shtick.
Oh, yeah.
Personally. That is one of my favorite dumb shticks that for some reason I will never get tired of. Yes, the idea that I hold life and death in the power of both my hands.
Right.
So I am your god right now, right? And you're just like, oh no, please, no.
It's the MMO healer that just suddenly had one too many bad days.
Exactly.
Exactly. And all of a sudden they're like, no, you little shits. I am your god.
Blood for the blood lily.
Right.
I'm playing an MMO right now a little bit, and there's very much this feeling, and when I play a healer, of where I'm just like, yes, you
do not deserve
it. I swear, if you stand in one more... Yep, you're doing it. Yep.
You don't even deserve to come back.
I will give you an instant raise, but if it happens... Nope, you're going to sit there and think about what you did. And
right. And okay, because this is the real reason why I was so curious about how they would handle her ability.
Yeah.
Being able to heal injuries can be a bit of a plot breaker, right? Now,
sure.
And things you can't do or complications are always more interesting than powers.
Yes, very true.
So I was really curious.
No raising from dead, technically. Mm-hmm. Technically.
Right. But I was really curious what the situation was going to be with how they make it so that the cost really feels like a painful cost to make.
Sure.
And the fact that it's the no, thou shalt not die, but not thou shalt not be injured or be hurt or things like that. It's just you aren't going to die.
Yes, but I do need to mortally, fatally wound you in order for me to heal you.
Right.
So we're going to go through this iterative process. This will only take a few minutes.
4 times. Like that is wonderful, because it's the thing of when you're in the situation where, crazy combat's happening and you need more of like not the doctor, but the medic, the one to make your
trauma kit time,
I think
patch you up, basically.
I think this is actually another Red versus Blue joke, but it's that no, I'm not a doctor. Doctors heal you. Medics just make it so that your death is less painful, right?
Your death is more comfortable. Yeah.
Right. So the idea that she could come in and be like, all right, emergency situation, boom, I fix you, you're better, right?
Yeah.
But, you want me to like tend to a broken arm?
Well, see, I'm going to have to puncture this artery down to this point here, so you are bleeding out. Okay, but in order to do that quickly so that it actually is like, not a real pain for you, Mary Poppins time, and pulls out this cleaver, and it's just like, this will not take more than about 15 seconds.
This will absolutely hurt, but only for a bit.
I need you to not move. This is very important that you do not move.
I don't want to accidentally kill you.
You urinate, shit yourself, just everything. It's like, I can't fix that. Your humiliation and all that, that's
there's a
on
shower
you.
over there.
There's a shower over there.
But
can you imagine how much blood is just around her patients by the end? But that's the other thing. She has to be regenerating blood as well. Otherwise, can you imagine what's actually in her bag is like, well, I have the cleaver. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But what I actually carry in here is like 6 different blood bags, basically.
I just have like a beer keg, but just full of O negative.
Right. Like Dopo and someone else had to like combine their abilities to make her this like bag of holding that has like all kinds of shit in it.
I'm sure
one
if
of them
she
is
can-
like, I have a full like blood transfusion station in here, and I just
I'm sure if she can
pull it out.
heal wounds to perfect health, she can also get the bones to just produce more blood,
Oh my god.
but-
Can you imagine though? She's like, okay, so but bones, this is tricky. In order for it to be a lethal wound with a bone, I need to hit your nerves to send a signal to your brain. Which means this is going to hurt a lot. So get ready. And then
Actually, wait, hold on.
like
If I remember my like biology class stuff right, I believe it's the bones that actually produce the blood.
the bone marrow?
Yeah. I think so. So if she actually had to get someone more blood, would
The
she
heart just is moving it.
right?
pumping it,
The heart's moving it.
Yeah.
So and if I'm totally talking out my ass, let me know.
I wouldn't know. I sucked
but
at
if
bio.
that's the case, and she had to get someone to have more blood, would she have to like potentially like open up some of the bones so that they can like move it out faster? To like I don't know.
I think we're thinking about this way too much.
yeah,
It's probably one of those Bacano things where the blood just...
right, she's just like,
just
oh,
gets slurped
all
back
right.
into the body.
Yeah. She just
Clean as well,
I'll cut your legs off, with this cleaver, and then all of a sudden, hey, there you go. Right now you heal back to full, which is just, I love
She's
it.
a torturer.
Oh yeah,
And that's my favorite thing about these types of characters, this shtick, is that
Don't fuck with a doctor.
they heal you, yes. But what they also do is they make it so you wish you could die. But you're in their care now. There is no
they'll take
dying
good care of
here.
you. Yeah, they know exactly how to keep
No
you
one
alive.
has ever died on them before unless they wanted them to.
Right. Like, and then on top of that, the fact that she uses her ability on herself. Because
Yeah.
that's something that gives me a bit more respect for her. Because if it's something where it's just I make other people suffer and then I heal them, it's like, okay, cool. That's a fun mechanic, and it makes for great entertainment with the side characters as they're freaking out of like, oh God, don't let her actually, touch you, right? Mm-hmm. But the fact that she's like, nah, like she didn't even really fight back against the bomber guy for quite a bit. She was letting herself get blown up by grenades and stuff, just almost because she's like, I wonder if you'll actually be able to impress me, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, a dozen grenades.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, by doing this, she's also keeping his attention entirely off the passengers, entirely
true.
off of the train's just general course, so he doesn't like try and like crash it or anything. Or also, he's feeling confident that he's winning. There was a very cool little throughput of the story here, and that was the idea that there are people that put themselves into positions where they believe they're in power, and they kind of revel in their domination of another person.
Okay.
This happened a few times with the doctor.
Oh, of course, right.
Of course, that happened twice here. One with regards to her healing. Boy, what's his name? Kenji?
Boy with the Tanizaki? Yeah.
Yes, Tanizaki. Yes,
the
exactly.
one with the sister. Yeah.
Yes. Junichiro.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then we also had the situation where the doctor had to step in the way of Atsushi getting attacked by the suit guy.
Right.
And then he's like, ugh, slaps her. And it's like, what the fuck? What? And he's like, oh, what is your employer? Oh, maybe you're something more specialized. And I'm like, you can do whatever you want to this guy now. And she did.
Well, and what I love about it, though, is that she kind of held to a code. Because at first, she broke his finger, right?
Well, we don't know what she did.
Well, but when she grabbed his finger and,
There was no sapping sound at that point. She just kind of, it was just a squeeze.
I thought for sure there was a snapping sound. But,
Okay.
Let's assume there was a snapping sound or there was some damage done there to his finger, right?
Right.
That's no big deal
Nothing.
on the grand scheme of things, and
Yeah.
it's certainly not something that's going to threaten to kill him. But do no harm in the end, right? So once she did that, she had to get rid of his arm in order to heal the damage to his finger.
I don't think she got rid of his arm. She was in public with a lot of people there.
I mean, she could have put it back.
Yes, and still would have been in public with a lot of people who would have then called the cops. No, I think the point is that right when that happened, then she broke his finger or his hand or something. Because you go back and listen to the sound.
I like the idea that it is possible. That as a way to teach him a lesson, while at the same time making sure that he went on his way as if nothing ever happened.
And then everyone thinks that they had a mass hallucination with we saw her rip off his arm.
But she couldn't have because the arm's right there. That.
And then everyone just kind of turns and walks away awkwardly. Stranger things have happened in this story thus far. So
it's just so mind breaking. They're like, nope.
But then the next one is Akutagawa and the new girl. And I'm sorry, I forgot her name already. But he is not reveling in the domination of her and her power, but he is very much he is very much
using it.
How would I describe this? Yeah, using it, but also
it's very utilitarian.
Well,
I mean, because he's using her, but
but
if anything, he doesn't seem to have too much of joy over the whole thing. But was it Akutagawa or was it the bomber guy that was?
It was Akutagawa.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing that I thought was rather cool, was they had a fun reason to show Akutagawa, and so we could hear his voice again, and thus then the voice on the phone was very clearly Akutagawa at that point. Yeah. But I think my point is kind of lost in the idea that, you're right, he wasn't really reveling in it.
Maybe the one way that he was is that he gave her a thing, or the bomber gave her the thing, or something. She got the thing that she thought would be the deactivation for the bomb.
That's it. Thank you. Yes.
Which is pretending to basically give her control and agency, and it's actually just the thing that will kill her.
It's like, no, okay, so you messed up. There was no reason to do that. So now you're going to die, and everyone else in as well.
Because if you think about it, while they can control her power, she can still theoretically walk around and stuff. So they need to break her mind so that she also complies enough with what they want her to do, so that they can set her up to do the thing where she actually has no control.
And that felt just cruel, because it's a way of saying, oh, our brainwashing isn't working anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, well then you're dead. Which is, it's very cold and calculating, but it is also in some ways something that doesn't need to be said, and also it doesn't need to have any kind of a timer attached to it. It could have just been a thing that immediately killed her.
Yeah. For all we know, those bombs on her might not have been something special for this mission.
Nope.
Maybe that's just something where as soon as she went out of the prison, it's like, all right, here you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's your care package.
Yeah, that's what
you know?
I thought was the reason why Dazai was actually captured. Was because the ability was one thing, but it was also I have a bomb.
Right. You
Can you
can't
deal with the bomb and my ability
Well,
at the same time?
Yeah, you might be able to dispel my ability, but you
Right.
can't dispel this.
You can't dispel this, yeah. And thus you have the perfect hostage, not just the girl, but also everyone in the environment nearby. Okay. With this new character, though, being brought in, Atsushi is going to be able to go on a parallel journey, potentially with them, through this.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for that. But I'm even more excited for the idea that Dazai and Akutagawa can potentially talk about their definite shared history together as both members of the Port Mafia.
And none of the other characters in the show have to be ever privy to that.
Yep.
But we will get it.
But we will get it, and it will be
we
wonderful.
appreciate that.
Yes.
Also, the fact that they have Dazai held like captive and stuff.
Yeah.
But Dazai wants to die. I would kind of love to have a torture scene, like a reverse torture scene, where it's
No,
the
please!
you know,
That's kind of nice.
oh,
Like,
do your worst, you know. Like, oh, is this it, really? Like,
yeah, I think that he probably is just human in regards to pain, though. But yes, I'm with you in that it would be funny as hell to see him just being like, death, I approach thee.
right.
It has been some time.
Oh, the pain, I can't take it. Oh. I'm too weak.
Don't kill me, please.
Yeah.
And while I would say that Dazai is one of those characters that is larger than life, I would like to see a lot more of the human side of him as we probably look at what I would assume are a lot of his lower points in his life if we go into Akutagawa and his backstory.
Yes.
And primarily, though, while I am excited about Dazai being someone that would probably be inquired about his backstory, so like why he left the Port Mafia and all that, into specifics, I actually am more excited about Akutagawa's backstory because the idea that he's not wanting to kill Dazai
Sure.
feels...
That feels personal.
Yeah, it feels personal, and it feels like there's a relationship there. Something that is like hurt.
Because from a strictly technical standpoint, if he wanted to get rid of the ADA, short of if he was hoping to turn Dazai, the best thing to do is like, all right, you've got him. Cool, he's dead.
Yeah,
You know.
so he's probably maybe a little bit confident in that he's like, yeah, I'll kill him eventually.
Yeah.
But
Until then, I'm going to get information, see if I can
Yeah.
turn him, whatever.
get a little bit of emotional, satisfaction in just I beat you, basically.
Which then there you have the gloating over the power.
Yeah. I do also like the idea, though, in some way that's rather terrifying, of a connection to make, because this is a bit of a reach, but if you think about this girl,
Yeah.
she's wanting to die.
Yeah.
Dazai wants to die. Dazai's whole thing has been played it for comedy. In some ways, it's a bit uncomfortable just how much that is played it for comedy. But if you take with it the idea of, Dazai, what about if someone else came to you and they wanted to die? Would you suddenly abandon your whole thing on this?
Would you
because
be
you're
like, oh, a kindred spirit? Or would you be like, hold on now.
yeah, exactly.
I have reasons that I want to die, but I don't know.
This is an area where I hope they take a very mature look at this, because Dazai
Dazai
asks for double suicides at times, and it's like,
yeah. That is not done. That is played for comedy, not for actual seriousness.
yeah, exactly. But if they go into his backstory,
We might see in the ways in which it is serious and why, and yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's something we got coming to look forward to. So y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yes, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb,
I'm Jacob.
and we'll see you all next time.